Michael Grynbaum of the New York Times is back this morning to answer your etiquette questions. Good morning again.
Good morning.
These experiments are so fun to watch.
I know.
Let's start with elevators. And I thought Taryn played the role beautifully of the clueless, annoying person who, when there is plenty of room around you, still insists on standing close. I can't get into the mindset of somebody who thinks this is okay to do, so I don't know the best way to talk to them. So please help us. There's a viewer who tweeted this question. When someone is standing too close to you in the elevator, what is the most polite yet least awkward way to tell them to back off?
Well, I think the first step, no pun intended, is to take a medium-sized but conspicuous step away from this person.
Medium-sized?
You want to let them know that you need space around you, you need that sphere. And this is a situation where body language can be really critical. I think if you turn away, pivot yourself away from them, maybe look down the floor, look at the buttons, hopefully they get the message that you don't want them too close.
Sometimes they don't. You stare at them, you glare at them, and they're still... But you can try it.
Hopefully there are other people there to glare at them too, and then the peer pressure gets in the way.
All right, let's talk about another good one, armrest etiquette. This is a great question from Facebook. Samantha asks, how do you decide who gets the armrest when you're on a plane, in a movie theater, etc.? Another viewer waited on this one. Stephanie, she wrote, oh, that bugs me a lot. Who gets the armrest? Do you sit there with your hands in your lap? That's just a panic attack waiting to happen. What's your advice?
Well, there are a few different schools of thought on this one. Experts say that the person sitting in the middle seat gets first priority. It's something of a consolation for not having the window or not having the extra room of the aisle. The problem is a lot of people don't follow those rules. So one thing I'd suggest is just to say something friendly like, mind if we share?
Okay.
And if you want to use just your elbow, maybe both of you can divide the space on the armrest.
You know what my rule is? I think everyone, since there are two armrests, everyone should get one.
Right.
Right?
That's an equitable way to look at it.
I think so.
And if they're really hogging it, when they get up to get their luggage, maybe you can take your rightful space
Oh, when
back.
they go to the bathroom,
right.
you take it back.
Exactly.
I like that. All right, a personal question, because this happened to me the other day on the subway. You get in, it's super crowded, you're like sardines, you have no choice but to be like this. But then people start to get off, and the person who's like this next to you still doesn't move, even though other seats have opened up. How do you tell that person, or you can get up and move, but how do you say to somebody move because you're with your whole family and they can sit across from you?
I think especially if you've got kids there, you kind of have a built-in excuse. You can say, hey, look, I want to sit with my children. But one thing you might say is, hey, mind if I stretch out? It kind of puts the onus on yourself and maybe takes the sting out of it a little bit. In some cases, you might have to just sit there because it can be a pretty awkward situation.
All right.
So
let's get to more questions from Facebook. Anna wants to know, when you're on a crowded train or bus and someone's reading over your shoulder, oh, Anna, I'm with you, sister. How do you politely tell them to stop?
Well, if it's an article that I've written, I don't mind the extra audience. But, in other cases, I think, again, body language is key. I think if you move your book or your magazine away from the person, or you kind of turn your body around, hopefully they get the message. Although one technique I've found can be effective is not saying anything, but just kind of looking at them real quickly, giving them a quick glance.
Oh, like you're surprised that someone would even consider doing that?
And maybe they think that you haven't noticed, like they're just silently doing
good.
it. When you let them know, hey, I know what you're doing, they get startled and they might scamper away.
Okay, and finally, I think the biggest offender of all is when somebody stands so close to you, like at the checkout line in a grocery store, and like breathes down your back, you smell their breath. That needs to stop.
And where's the line going to go? I mean, if they're moving closer to you. I think one thing, especially if you're at the cashier, if you say, hey, I have to get my wallet out, or you take your purse out or put it on the counter, that kind of opens up some space. And another thing is usually there are some magazines and some impulse buys right there. If you stretch over, oh, excuse me, grab an Us Weekly or something like that, you kind of force them to make room, and hopefully they back away from you a little bit.
You know another one? I'm a little sick. Could you back away from me?
A few well-timed coughs can really go a long way.
All right, Michael, thank you very much.
Thanks.
I'll shake your hand. Thank you.